my skin, I look better.
Yeah.
So I look better, so because of that, it's not difficult for me to sell my product. Okay? And because of my health, it's not difficult for me to push the products.
Yes.
I really have to say her health has improved.
Yes.
Because the first time Habiba took her here, I was wondering sitting there, why this lady keep coughing? She couldn't stop.
I couldn't stop.
And then she coughed, it's nothing like just cough. Oh, well, until her face red. And then she gotta go toilet. And then she come back again, and then she drink, and then she cough again, and then she go toilet, and then she come back again, and she cough, and then she go toilet. I said, what's wrong with her?
That's how close our relationship are.
Yeah.
So we know each other too well within a shop. Thank you, Ken.
And then I see the change in her after taking HemoHIM and the skincare. Wow, she hardly go to toilet at all. She hardly coughs, you know. This is proven, really proven, and
So,
that's why she's so happy. She sells HemoHIM a lot. I can't give her 5 boxes. He said when?
Okay, so today my daughter is pushing me to get the HemoHIM because her husband, who is a Maksadi, who is so particular about his food, he takes very heavy breakfast before going to work. So what happened yesterday?
That's why we knew if you have depression or bipolar, that's why I told her, take it. Because our lady in Ipoh, she already went into like not remembering the children and all this, not remembering what she had, and she's with heavy dosage medication for depression. But when she started taking this HemoHIM, the change in her come out. Now the son asked, do you know who I am? I know you are my son. Yeah.
How many she took
But
per day?
she takes only 1 packet a day. And for 3 years she couldn't walk because her leg is so tiny she can hardly eat. But taking HemoHIM, she begins to eat and she begins to walk now. And she can walk. That's HemoHIM. HemoHIM is an endless testimony. So much there.
Hello, my name is Solly, and my story starts last year. I had brain surgery. Okay, here in the States, at Johns Hopkins. This is exactly in July. Okay, because I had a tumor sitting on top of my brain, actually in the cranium, and then your brain isn't exactly on top of your, right after cranium. They have something called meninges, which is like a tissue. Okay, and my tumor was sitting right on top of it. Okay, on the right side. So I was, by the time they brought me, my sister-in-law anyway, she's a nurse, they brought me to the emergency. I was already what they would call in an altered mental state. Like I didn't know, I couldn't walk straight, I couldn't stand up. My vision, I mean, I could hear them talking, but I couldn't see them, although my eyes were open. And anyway, make a long story short, they brought me to Johns Hopkins. I had an 8-hour surgery, and when I woke up, my whole left side was paralyzed. And I couldn't remember a lot of things, I had amnesia. So anyway, I stayed in Johns Hopkins for a week. Then when they brought me back here to New Jersey, I had rehab first in St. Joe in Wayne, but I plateaued. And they said, we have to release her, we can't do anything anymore for her. She's not responding. So they moved me to another location at Mary Hart. And that's where I spent, all the way to September, or the end of September or October. And well, I did learn, from not being able to move. I graduated to a wheelchair. And then eventually I got to a walker, and then they could release me. But I still had, I couldn't open my computer. I had forgotten how to open my computer. I had forgotten how to open my iPad. I'm an industrial designer, and I couldn't do anything. Okay, so I decided, no, I might as well go home to the Philippines because, you know, there's nothing more. And besides, they were simply pumping me with too much medicines. I had steroids to start with. I was getting depressed. I wanted to jump off the window, and so they gave me a psychiatrist, and I told the psychiatrist, get out of here, you're not telling me anything new. So they put me on pills, which kept me happy. But you forget the here and now. You know, when you're taking a happy pill, you suddenly stop your eating, you forget your eating. You forget the here and now. I think that's basically what drug addicts go through. They forget the here and now, but they're happy. So, because in short, I went back to the Philippines, and in December, some Korean lady said, why don't you try, in the Philippines, you know, I was going to an acupuncturist because I would sit for 5 minutes and I would, you know, swell. You know, from the waist down, I was so big. I looked like I was 5 months pregnant, you know, because of the drugs that they had me on. My blood pressure, I was taking 2 blood pressure medication, you know, one a diuretic and another one to, you know, normalize my blood pressure. I was a mess, okay? So anyway, this acupuncturist said, you know, there was a lady said that gave me these samples. Why did you try it? So I did. You know, December, January, February, by the beginning of March, it was like a whole curtain was lifted off my brain. My brain didn't feel like it was empty anymore. I could remember things. You know, I brought back my welcome cards. Get well cards. None of the signatures I knew. I mean, I didn't know anybody who, you know, sent those cards. So really, you know, I mean, lucky for me, I knew my direct family members, but that's about it. You know, I didn't know my friends. So, you know, it was like that. And then I just kept on getting better and better on HemoHIM.